Hello and welcome to News 9 Facebook Live with me, Adarsh Vepachedu. Things finally seem to be working out when it comes to the Russian vaccine. Initially, we had talks of how there were accelerated phase 1 and 2 clinical trials, lack of comprehensive vaccine data, and so on and so forth. These essentially formed the major red flags around the Russian vaccine. But the last few days have been nothing short of landmark for the Russian vaccine. A journal in Lancet reported that the vaccine is safe and that it prompts an immune response. Then we had the Gamaleya Institute sharing crucial vaccine data with Indian officials, paving way for some kind of confidence. Now, after the Russian authorities sought India's help in manufacturing the vaccine right here in the country, India has responded in the positive. This essentially means not only will the Russian vaccine be made in India, there will also be phase 3 clinical trials in the country. To try and understand as to what this means for India, we have with us Dr. Pratik Patil, infectious disease expert at Manipal University, joining us live on the broadcast. Many thanks, Doctor, for speaking to us. My first question, how optimistic are you about the Russian vaccine? The Russians have shared data, and also the journal in the Lancet indicates that the vaccine shows immune response, it's safe and has no side effects. Have your concerns as a health expert been allayed now?
Yes, definitely. After seeing the data, that's reassuring. But again, we need to see when we go in a larger number of patients when the vaccine is used. Because you can see what happened in the Oxford vaccine, because now I think it has been put on hold due to the safety concerns. Correct. So that's what happens when you try and use the vaccine on a larger scale. So we need to see the data after it's been used in the phase 3 trials on large number of individuals. So obviously, but it's one more option available, so that's also a good option. And let us see how it fares in Indians, and obviously if it is manufactured in India, and once you have more number of options, it's always better, because having a single vaccine for such a large number of population across the world, it's always difficult. So if you have more than one option, it always is good.
Correct. Dr. Pratik, when it comes to a foreign vaccine being used in India in this particular case, that particular XYZ vaccine will have to certainly undergo phase 3 clinical trials. Is that the case? What's the regulatory process like? Could you just tell us in brief?
Yes, again, for that, government will have to get, government has to approve this phase 1, 2, 3 trials. So again, this is a special case or special scenario. So they may approve the initial trials in India without having a phase 1 or 2 trials. That again depends on the government officials, whether they allow direct phase 3 trials in India or to what extent they allow. Again, that can be decided only by the government officials. So I don't think I will be able to comment on that. But again, I think they will be closely watching the data, even if it's used in the phase 3 directly. And if there are any untoward side effects, like what happened in Oxford trial, the trial can be withheld at any time.
Right. Dr. Pratik, you were talking about the Indian context and also the Oxford University vaccine. We have the Oxford University vaccine. Apart from that, we also have the Bharat Biotech Covaxin that is being developed. But you were just speaking about how the global clinical trials of the Oxford University's vaccine have now been put on hold after a patient in the United Kingdom has fallen somewhat sick. So in that particular context, how important do you feel is the Russian vaccine for India at this particular juncture? And we're obviously talking about some kind of a delay before we see the Oxford vaccine hitting the market. Yes, you were talking about the population. So it's always a combination of vaccines that would work. But in this particular case, we seem to again begin to have this feeling that maybe the Oxford vaccine will not make it to the market as early as let's just say the Russian vaccine. So how do you see the Russian vaccine in the race against the Oxford vaccine at this point in time? And do you see the Russian vaccine a little ahead, given that the Oxford vaccine clinical trials have now been put on hold?
But again, I think it's not being ahead or something. Again, we have to see, because this was a phase 3 trial of Oxford vaccine that was going on, and Russians are still to do that. So once the results are out, and if the phase 3 trials we don't see any undue side effects and it shows good efficacy, then definitely the Russian vaccine will have the lead. But till we start the phase 3 trials, it's very difficult to predict who is leading the race.
Now, Dr. Pratik, again, sticking to India, because both the Oxford University vaccine and the Russian vaccine, we're trying to procure it, we're trying to manufacture it here and ensure that it reaches the common man at the earliest. But again, who do you think, again, India is a manufacturing hub when it comes to vaccines and medicines. Who do you think will take home this all-important big deal coming in from the Russian Gamaleya Institute? Do you see a firm, let's just say in Hyderabad, taking home the deal? What are your thoughts on that?
Again, I don't know really. It's very difficult to say. But again, as I said, phase 3 trials has to undergo, and then we will see if there is a good response. Probably Russians may have a benefit there. Russian vaccine may benefit there. Obviously, Oxford vaccine has to go back, see what is the issue there, why there are side effects, how severe are they, and if needed, they may have to recheck everything or may make some changes. Or if there is nothing severe, they can restart the trial. That's another possibility. But obviously, at the moment, Russia may have some thin edge over the Oxford vaccine.
Okay. Okay. So, Doctor, your final word, all your fears have been allayed. Is it only a waiting game now? Is it saying anything at this point in time? Is it too early? Are we jumping the gun? Should we simply wait at this point in time? Or do you have any more fears or doubts, skepticism surrounding the Russian vaccine?
It's not one particular about Russian vaccine. It's about any product, any new product or any new drug. Unless we see a result in the phase 3 trials, so we cannot jump on the gun saying that, okay, this is good. So I would still wait for the results of these current trials of Russian vaccine, and then only will lead to some conclusion. It's too early to predict anything at the moment. So we have to be patient, and see how the things go.
Right. Many thanks, Dr. Pratik Patil, for joining us and for shedding light on the updates coming in pertaining to the Russian vaccine. There you have it. The infectious disease expert sounding very clear. He's saying that we should not celebrate just yet. We should wait for the phase 3 clinical trials to get over, and then we'll have a better understanding as to what this vaccine really does. But yes, we do have a couple of positive updates coming in as to how we have data now about the Russian vaccine, and that apart, the Russians have requested the Indian authorities that they can go ahead and manufacture the Russian vaccine here in India, and the Indian government has also responded positively to the Russians. So in all likelihood, we will have a situation where phase 3 clinical trials, like we are seeing for the Oxford University vaccine, will be conducted for the Russian vaccine as well here in India. And after that, manufacturing is anybody's guess. There are plenty of firms across the country that would be willing, that would be ready to take home this deal from the Russian vaccine. But yes, first come, we have to ensure that the phase 3 clinical trials go on successfully, and that there are no intense reactions from any of the subjects who are participating in the clinical trials. If you like the information that we've shared with you, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to News 9 on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Many thanks for joining us.